Welcome back to part 2 of the IELTS speaking test. So far, before we proceed with this, I'd like to give a recap of the things that we've talked about in the first part. Okay, so let me just give you a background of that. So previously, I gave you the information about what is the test format for the IELTS speaking test. How are you going to be evaluated by the examiner? So some important things to keep in mind: the fluency, the coherence, right? Grammatical structure, your pronunciation is also very important, and so on. And we also practice. I gave you some samples. I hope that you try to practice more about it, preparing your answers, although you might encounter a different question in the actual exam, but being able to expose yourself or practice a lot before the actual exam would allow you to prepare such questions that requires time for you to think about it or to answer. And of course, it gives you confidence. The more experience that you get, the more familiar that you get also when it comes to the topics and the actual test itself. So now let's continue. The last part of the first video that you've watched, I gave you a very important key thing to remember, which is to always extend your answers, right? So the importance behind that is, of course, it shows the examiner that you're able to use the language efficiently and confidently, right? So in part 1 of the speaking test, there are 3 ways in which you can extend your answers, and that is by giving reasons. And when you give reasons, you use different words also, not just because, okay? Giving examples, right? So when you say that, you don't just say, for example. There are other words that you can use, such as for instance, right? So you have to be familiar with that. Or I know you're already familiar with it, or you might want to refresh yourself with those words, because sometimes we get so much comfortable with the daily language that, sometimes we have also to develop our knowledge when it comes to speaking it. And then stating preferences. Okay, so these are the key important things. Now, I told you that I'll be giving you some examples about it. So here is one short example. Okay, in this video, you will see that in response to the question, what kind of weather do you like? Here, the candidate will extend the answer by explaining why she likes warm and sunny weather using because. Okay, so here there are 2 things. She's giving examples, right? What kind of weather? So that's warm and sunny, and reasoning out, giving reason, which is using because. Okay, so let's take a look at that.
What kind of weather do you like?
I really like weather that is warm and sunny, because in my free time, I enjoy spending time outdoors.
Right, so because, so she gave a valid reason and justified why she likes warm and sunny weather. So it's very brief. The answer is brief but concise. When we talk about, or when we say concise, brief but concise, she say exactly what is needed, right? And that is to justify her answer as to why she likes the weather warm and sunny. Okay, now let's take a look at another example here. All right, so another way of extending your answers. Okay, so in this example, the candidate has extended the answer to the question, what kind of food do you like? And here, by giving examples, in this case, she used the phrase in particular, right? I told you earlier, you can also use for instance, In particular is another good word to use or phrase. All right, so let's take a look at the example.
What kind of food do you like?
I like trying many kinds of different foods, but in particular, I'm really into Thai cuisine and Vietnamese cuisine.
All right, so that was very nice because as you can see from the examiner, he used the word food as a question, right? What kind of food do you like? Whereas the candidate answered it by using a different word or high level word, which is cuisine. And that is a very good way to respond to such questions because we want to avoid, as you can remember in the first video, we want to avoid using the same words as what the examiner used, right? Because you want to show that you know a lot of vocabulary words or your wide range of vocabulary. So that's really important that directly you know what words you're able to construct and find the right words to be able to address the question. So here in particular, okay. So now I'm gonna give you a more effective way to extend your answers, and that is by stating your preferences. Okay, so in this final example, the candidate said that she is not really a sports fan. But then she extended her answer by talking about other activities that she likes doing. In this case, that is, she used prefer. Okay, so that's very nice. So when you want to state your preferences, I prefer using this and that. I prefer watching this and that. I'm not really a sports fan. Remember the phrases, right? Instead of just saying, what are the things why you do not like sports? I'm not really a sports fan. Okay, let's take a look at the example.
Do you enjoy watching sports?
To be honest, I'm not really a sports fan. I prefer going to concerts or going to the cinema to see a good film.
Okay, and as you can see also in the beginning, she used the words to be honest, right? So this is a very good way also because it makes you sound more natural when you're able to use such phrases and words like that. Well, because also this allows you, when you use some words in the beginning before you're able to address the main point, it also gives you enough time to think about your idea, to think about what exactly do you want to say. So by using this will eliminate your fillers also. And by fillers, I mean, sometimes people before they start talking, they would say, So this is something that is not good. So you want to eliminate that. So you use other words such as, well, to be honest, right? So when you are able to do that, then that's a good way to eliminate fillers. Okay, so that's about it. So we've had a look at 3 ways to extend your answers. Okay, so now let's watch a candidate extend her answer using a combination of the strategies. So in this video, the candidate also extended the answer in a variety of ways. First, by saying how much she dislikes something. Then she gave reason why she doesn't like it. And then finally, by saying what she prefers to do instead. Okay, let's take a look at that particular
Let's talk about your study.
Example.
What do you enjoy about the course you're taking?
Well, I'm studying design and I absolutely love the work experience we do as part of our course. We each work 1 day a week in a real design company and I actually get to design furniture there, which is the area I want to specialize in. I'm learning so much from the other designers that I could never learn from just studying from books.
Very nice. Very nice way to address the question. Now, remember, when answering the examiner's question, try to extend your answers by giving reasons, giving examples, or stating your preferences, as what we always say. And as you can see also, right, how she speaks. Okay, she shows confidence when she speaks. She doesn't stutter, and that's a good sign. She's able to organize her ideas in a timely manner. And so as a result, she's able to construct at least 2 to 3 sentences for that specific question. So, and as I said previously, right, these questions are questions that is based on your experience. So it should be easy for you to answer. The only challenge that you have sometimes is that you're a little nervous and you have to deal with that. But other than that, you don't have to be really intimidated or nervous when you're speaking in front of the examiner. It's only a one-time meeting where you have to prove that you are able to use the English language confidently and proficiently. Okay, so
Let's talk
all right.
about
So, okay, one of the things that the examiner will be listening for in your speaking test is whether you have a wide range of vocabulary. So this is known as lexical resource. In part 1 of the speaking test, you have to answer questions about familiar topics such as your hometown, your accommodation, your family, friends, and your hobbies. So it's a good idea to be able to talk about everyday topics such as these using a wide range of vocabulary. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to continue this part because I would like to discuss this and give you some important points and vocabulary words and phrases that we can use. So I'll see you in the next video, and I hope you liked this video. If you have questions, please feel free to comment or message me anytime. I would be happy to answer your questions. Thank you for watching.